Hi guys, happy Saturday. I hope you guys are having an incredible Saturday. It's RJ Martin here with another episode of Sips and Chill, Sips and Chill, Sips and Chill, Sips and Chill with RJ. Sips and Chill. So, what is Jordan RJ Martin talking to you about today? RJ is going to discuss hair. Why is hair such an interesting topic? Well, we got a crown Zach about it, so it must be important. I had this little epiphany yesterday at my desk, and I was like, I'm going to do an episode Saturday. What I'm going to do an episode about. And while I was just, going through Instagram, just surfing, and I saw an old episode of Blackish pop up where they were talking to Diane. Y'all know Diane, the crazy one that everybody always is like, I'm scared of her. But she's like really honest. She wanted to go natural. So like Bo was trying to encourage her to go natural. Jill Scott was her hairdresser and she was like, oh, I can put perm on your hair and like we can just straighten your hair out. And then she was like, well, if you want to go natural, you have to do the big chomp. And then all these different hairdressers in this black beauty salon are saying, oh, I can do the big chomp for you. She's bald. And she was like, it only going to take 10 minutes. You ready? And then she was like, how low do you want it? And then she was like, I don't think I want to do the big chomp. And then they were like, well, what you need to actually do is braid your hair. Everybody has different opinions of how the black hair should be. And then it's funny how other communities think how we actually should have our hair. I have been natural since 2013. Which y'all know has been, wow, 13 years now. So freaking crazy. 14 years. So I did not want to go natural. If I can tell y'all a little bit of my own hair story, I was born with a full head of hair. This is a little bit shorter than this, but it was big. I had a big head of hair on me. So did the boys when they were born. We all had thick hair when we came out. My mom actually told me she never wanted to perm me. Turns out when I had my hairdresser, Miss Tia Mokarain, she's incredible. She's in town and she will help you sisters if y'all want to do your hair naturally. She told me there's a chance that I was allergic. And she was like, do you have sensitive skin? Yes, I do. And then she said, you're allergic. And I can actually remember, like, because it burns and people are like, oh, that's just work. It's working. But they would say that my hair would soak up the perm because my hair was so dry and it wanted moisture. So I do better on the moisturizers nowadays. But like back then, if you talking about, I would sit through and I would cry, or I just learned to hold in my tears. But like my hair was all messed up, especially from the stress of school and the worry and fear of not being able to pass because I actually failed first grade. My hair would fall out. And my mom would be like, what is going on? So we talked to other women who were actually going natural about their hair. And they said, when you're in school, you worry and like your hair will fall out. And I was like, how old was I when I found this out? Like 14, maybe 15 years old. And my mom was like, Jordy, stop worrying. Your hair's falling out. And I've actually had temper tantrums, like minor, where I would pull my hair out. But hair is just so important. But why is it so important? We have all these different hairstyles and ways that we like to wear our hair. Why is it so important? Guys, there's a Crown Act on our hair to see how we can actually wear our hair at work. But our hair is also in the First Amendment rights, freedom of speech. That's part of it. Just like the way we decide to wear our clothes, whether we want to wear dresses or pants, or if we should do something specific. In certain work environments, they will have a dress code for us, but the way we wear it, can we do that? Did you guys know back in the 1700s in Louisiana, they had this thing called the Tignan Act or Tignan Law, where black women who were actually, what they did, they wore their hair long, like they would have it natural and they would put things in their hair and it would be like, they would be gorgeous the way they wore their hair. And then they were like, y'all can't do that. They would be insulted. And then they wanted to say, well, there's a reason the black women can't influence the white men, like sexually. So y'all can't have your hair that way. So they made the Tignan Act that they had to cover up their hair. So they did cover up their hair at first, but then what they started doing, they were like, they made it their own. The sisters would cover up their hair, but when they covered up their hair, they would put jewels in it, or they would be silk scarves, or like it would be more than cotton. And it would be extra gorgeous, and they'd be extra pretty and extra feminine. Then, you know, some of the white women were getting jealous of that. So then they started wearing the same things in their hair. We are trendsetters with our hair. I can also tell you, like, I've had many different hairstyles when I was little. I had braids. I wore like ponytails where they would pull my hair back, and then they would sew like with pins, put pins in the hair, and it'd be painful, but I would look good. And I would have that ponytail for like 2 or 3 months until my mom was like, okay, it looks bad. You didn't really take care of it. You need to get the ponytail out. There are certain hairstyles I was like, I don't want to ever go back to that hairstyle. I was like, what were y'all thinking? Then there were times when I would do perms, and it would just, or I would just try to have it straight, because, you know, that was the status quo of how we are supposed to wear our hair actually. And again, freedom of speech. And then like, but I was born this way because my hair is actually coarse, and my hair is not curly, it's coily. They're tiny curls, tiny curls right here. And it's important to love your hair, just like you need to love the skin you're in. We have to love the hair we have. Some people will call it nappy. I'm like, no, baby girl, no, baby boy, it's natural. Most of the people who bullied me for my hair did not know anything about their hair, doing the same things, perming it, wearing wigs, or mistreating it somehow. Sometimes we don't have the money to do braids. Braids can be expensive. If you got some good girlfriends like I do, sometimes it might not be as expensive. Or good guy friends. My old hairdresser, Joy, thank you, Joy, for everything you have done. He's retired now, y'all. But hey, he used to work on this head, and I do appreciate it. Soon going to get those braids for my birthday trip that is coming up in June. Yes. But yeah, like, our hair is a symbol of something. It is a symbol of expression. It is a symbol of freedom. Black History Month coming up, so you about to hear me preach. A symbol of expression, freedom, resistance to the man who do not respect us. And like, we did everything with our hair just so that we could fit into a society that still does not accept us, y'all. Just saying. And I mean, the thing is, there's so many people who accept our hair. And I mean, like, I actually work for like an organization. They're like, you can't have two-tone hair. You can have braids. One of my girlfriends at work, Quan. Hey, Quan, love you, girl. She taught me how to wrap my hair. She's like, oh, it's simple. Just get like a scarf. I'm like, oh. So Quan, one of my girlfriends from work, she taught me how to do this. I'm not gonna lie, I do this on days where I'm feeling extra lazy and I don't feel like doing 2-strand twist on my hair and then doing a twist out. I love the wash and go. The wash and go is the best thing ever, but you also need the right curling methods to do the wash and go. So when she taught me how to do this, I was going to work like this a lot. And then what happened was, there was someone who was in, quote unquote, one of the higher rankings of my job. This is not, it's fine. And he was like, y'all can't wear scarves on your head. And I'm like, what if we were religious and if this was a religious thing? Because there are people who are religious and believe in covering their heads. It came undone. Yes, it did. But hey. And then, you know, but then it was like, oh, really? What's your religion? It's an unspoken religion. You don't need to know what it is or worry about it. But hey, here I am. My head is covered. You shouldn't be able to tell me how I can or cannot wear my hair. This is my freedom of speech. This is the oppression that my women in my bloodline, or women who look like me or darker than me, maybe even a little lighter than me, but Black women have had to go through for years, fighting for years. Slavery, Jim Crow, segregation, interrogation, ignorance, and we can't wear our hair. Like, that's one thing, and y'all have to talk about it. And don't get me started on touching my hair. Let's go to it since we're on the topic. So I had a lot of people touch my hair, and I like, sometimes, you know, when you don't really like people touching you, but then it's the one thing, I feel like, who's touched my hair more? There's people who have asked to touch my hair. I'm like, what you touch my hair for? Like, why, you got hair, you know what hair is like. People are like, I just want to know how soft it is. I've had someone actually tell me, there was a bully back in grade school who touched my hair. She was like, your hair feels like straw. Congratulations. You know what straw feels like then. My hair actually is coarse. It's okay. I forgive you and I'm going to move on. But these are people like touch. No. But there's even been an Oscar winning movie called like Hair Love or Love Hair, that where the little girl's mom had cancer. Her mom lost her hair, but she had did so many videos with her. The little girl was trying to do her hair because she wanted to see her mommy while she was in the hospital, and she didn't know how to do her hair, so she tried, and she had beautiful, thick, luscious, coily, curly hair, and her dad didn't want to help her at the moment, and she was upset. Then he realized it wasn't that he didn't want to help her, he didn't know how. So he looked at one of the old videos and he learned how, and he did her hair the way her mama would do it. Then they went to go see her at the hospital, and she showed her that she was still wearing her hair the best she could. They gave her something to put over her head so she wouldn't feel so bad from losing her hair to chemo. And she made it, thank you God. That won an Oscar, like, what was it, 2015, 2016? Hair Love, such an epic film that so many should see. It's so sweet and tenderhearted because, you know, and they're teaching these little babies about their hair and to love their hair. I don't support perm anymore because I'm allergic. If any sister wants to support that, if you want to wear your lace front, if you want your edges done and you want to lay down your baby hairs, I'm fine with it. Love, first and foremost, is all an act of self-love in yourself, in your community, and knowing where you come from, because part of where you're going is knowing where you're coming from. Love your hair. Love the skin you are in, my brothers and sisters of every community. And don't ever feel bad for if your hair is coarse, kinky, straight, short. If you like to keep it cut, good for you. If you like to wear it long, more work and power to you. But yes, love your hair in every aspect it is in. All right, that's the end of RJ's Sips and Chill with RJ. Y'all stay tuned and we'll see y'all next time. Sips and Chill, Sips and Chill, with RJ. Sips and Chill. Peace out. Happy Black History Month is coming. It's tomorrow.